Friends, having continuous growth and continuous progress is basically very in demand skill. How do we achieve that? Is it because of the discipline or it's about the motivation? So in this video, we will dive deep into how motivation and discipline aren't the opposing forces, but two half of the powerful cycle. You will learn how to leverage that initial spark of motivation to build a sustainable discipline, and how that very discipline will create new motivation to keep you going. Stop waiting for inspiration to strike and start building a system that guarantees progress. Watch now to master your own growth loop and achieve your goals faster than ever before. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Have you ever had that feeling, that incredible burst of energy on a Monday morning or at the start of the new year when you're just buzzing with ideas and fierce desire to change your life? That's motivation. It's a spark that makes you sign up for the gym, buy online course, or pull out the notebook to start that novel. It feels amazing, right? But then in a few weeks or a few days later, what happens? That spark starts to flicker. You hit a wall. The gym feels like a chore. The course is collecting digital dust, and the blank pages seems more intimidating than inspiring. That's when you often say, I just lost my motivation, and we beat ourselves up for it. For a long time, we have treated motivation and discipline as two separate, often conflicting forces. We see it as a battle. So, if I am not motivated, I must force myself with discipline. It's an exhausting way to live. It's why so many of our goals fall by the wayside. But what if I told you that this is the wrong way to look at it? What if motivation and discipline aren't rivals but partners in an elegant, self sustaining system? A system I call the growth loop. My goal today is to show you how to stop fighting yourself and start leveraging this powerful loop. We are going to explore how motivation fuels discipline, and most importantly, how discipline sustains motivation, creating a powerful cycle that will propel you towards continuous growth. Let's start with first part of the loop, which is motivation. So what is it really? Think of it as the emotional charge or the desire to act. That is why behind what we do is that motivation that pushes you forward. Motivation is powerful. It's what gets you off the couch, and that's what inspires us to start. It comes in many forms. It could be a new goal you set for yourself. It could be an inspiring podcast or a video you watched. It could be frustration of being stuck, which finally pushes you to make a change. And that initial spark is crucial. You can't start a fire without a spark. But here is the critical truth we often forget. Motivation is inherently unreliable and fleeting. It's just a feeling. It comes and goes. It is not consistent fuel for your progress. Think of it like the starter fluid for your food. You spray it on and it creates a huge impressive flame for a few seconds. But if that's all you have, the fire will die, and just as quick as it started, you need to follow that initial spark with something more sustainable. All right. So how do we find and harness that initial spark? Don't wait for it to magically appear. You can be proactive. Set an inspiring but small goal. Instead of saying, I will get fit, say, I will do a 5-minute walk every day this week. That's a spark you can easily create. Consume inspiring content. Listen to a motivational podcast. Read a chapter of a book by someone you admire. Watch a documentary about a hero. Visualize your success. Take a few moments to vividly imagine what it feels like to achieve your goal. This emotional connection is a powerful spark. The key is to accept that this spark won't last forever. Your job isn't to chase high of motivation, but to use it to get started on the second, more important half of the loop. This brings us to discipline. If motivation is the spark, then discipline is the fuel. Discipline is consistent, intentional action regardless of how you feel. It's the promise you make to yourself and the commitment to follow through. It's the kindling and logs you add to the fire to keep it burning steadily long after the starter fluid has fizzled out. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's a daily grind. It's showing up at the gym on a day you feel tired. It's writing that one page even when you don't feel like creative. It's saying no to distractions and staying focused on your task. Many people think of discipline as the brutal force of will, a form of self-punishment. But that's a misconception. True discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. It's something you build, one small brick at a time. It's about creating systems and habits that make the right choice the easier choice. So, how do we build discipline? Start incredibly small. Don't try to go from zero to marathon runner overnight. Your first act of discipline might just be putting on your running shoes for 5 minutes. That's it. Focus on one habit at a time. Trying to change everything at once is a recipe for failure. Pick one thing and make it non-negotiable for a week or two. Create a routine. Routine removes the need for willpower. If you follow that routine, you will actually, start building your motivation also. If you always read for 15 minutes before bed, you don't have to decide to do it every night. It just happens. Use accountability. Tell a friend about your goal. Track your progress in a journal. The simple act of having to report your progress even to yourself is a powerful motivator for consistency. The purpose of discipline is not to replace motivation. Its purpose is to capture the energy of motivation and convert it into consistent action. And this is where the magic happens. This is the core of our talk today. The growth loop is about how discipline, once established, doesn't just sustain your progress, it actually sustains your motivation as well. Think about it. When you're motivated, you take action. That action, if it is disciplined and consistent, lead to result. Maybe it's a small result, like finishing a workout, completing a chapter, or saving few dollars. But when you see that result, something incredible happens. You feel a sense of accomplishment. You have tangible proof that your effort is working. That feeling of accomplishment, that sense of progress is the powerful source of a new motivation. It's the energy you get from seeing your fire not only lit by burning brightly. The cycle looks like this. Motivation, which is the spark, lead to action, which is discipline, lead to result, which is the proof, and renewed motivation, that is the new spark. And this loop goes on. Let us use some real world examples. So in fitness, you are motivated to get healthy. You use that motivation to commit a 20 minutes walk every day, which is basically discipline. After a week, you feel more energetic and your clothes fit a little better. That is a result. This is a new feeling of well-being is powerful. Intrinsic motivation that pushes you to want to try a new workout or walk for 30 minutes is the renewed motivation. Now let's talk about an example in career. You are motivated to learn a new skill. You use that energy to study for 30 minutes a day. Discipline. After a month, you complete a small project using your new skill. That is result. This new competence and confidence motivate you to take a bigger, more challenging project at work. That is a new spark. So let's talk about another way of life, and let's look at how this loop works in creative life. You are motivated to write a book. You use that motivation to write 100 words a day, and this is a discipline. Soon you have completed a chapter. That is a result. That feeling of progress, of having a real chapter, gives you the new motivation to tackle the next one. So this loop creates a powerful sense of momentum. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The more result you see from your discipline, the more fuel you have for your motivation. It becomes a virtuous cycle that accelerates your growth. The key insight is that you don't need to be highly motivated to start a big project. You just need to have enough motivation to do one small disciplined thing. And that one thing will create a result that gives you all the motivation you need to take the next small disciplined step. So, what does it take away from all of this? Stop waiting for motivation to strike. It's a waste of time. Instead, start treating motivation as a tool to kickstart your discipline. Your action plan is simple. Find your spark. What's one small thing that gets you excited to start? A new journal, a fresh pair of running shoes, an inspiring talk you just listened to. Commit to one tiny act of discipline immediately, today, right now. Don't wait. Use the spark to do something small and concrete. Write one sentence, do one push up, save $1. Acknowledge your result at the end of the day. Recognize that you did it, you showed up, you kept a promise to yourself. That a feeling of accomplishment is your reward. Repeat that loop. Use that new feeling of accomplishment to fuel your next small act of discipline tomorrow. Remember, you don't need to climb the entire mountain in one day. You just need to motivate to take the first step, the discipline to take the next, and self-awareness to see the journey itself is what will motivate you to keep going. The growth loop isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's about understanding that every small act of discipline you perform creates the very motivation you need to continue. Start your loop today, find your spark, commit to one small act of discipline, and watch how that simple decision can transform your life one step at a time. Thank you, and I will catch you again in the next one.